the dark side of India. Did you know that India, renowned for its vibrant culture and rich history, also holds secrets that are less than pleasant? A land of contrasts, India is a country that captures the imagination with its color, diversity, and spirit. It's a place where ancient traditions coexist with cutting-edge technology, where bustling cities are just a stone's throw away from serene landscapes. But beneath this captivating facade lies a reality that's less than charming. India, the world's largest democracy and the seventh largest country by land area, is home to more than 1 billion people. It's a land of dreams and opportunities, but also a place where the shadows of poverty, child labor, and caste discrimination cast a long, dark shadow. The stark contrasts of India are astounding. On one hand, its economy is growing at an unprecedented rate, creating new wealth and opportunities. On the other hand, millions still live in abject poverty, struggling for the basic necessities of life. The glimmering skyscrapers and bustling IT parks often overshadow the slums and shanty towns where the less fortunate reside. Child labor is another grim reality of India. Despite laws against it, millions of children are forced to work, often in hazardous conditions, robbing them of their childhood and their future. They toil in factories, fields, and homes, their dreams buried under the weight of their circumstances. And then there's the deeply entrenched social hierarchy, the caste system. Despite being outlawed, caste discrimination persists, creating social barriers and perpetuating inequality. It's a system that dictates people's lives, often with dire consequences. But this is not the whole story. India is also a country of resilience and transformation. There are countless stories of individuals and communities challenging these issues, fighting for change and making a difference. So, as we peel back the layers of this complex country, we invite you to join us on this journey. A journey that will take us beyond the postcard pictures, past the colorful festivals and iconic landmarks, into the heart of the real India. Now brace yourself as we embark on a journey to uncover the darker side of this fascinating country. But wait, before we begin, please subscribe to ensure that you never miss out on any of my crucial stuff. Comment "I subscribe" below and I will personally welcome you to our community. Let's get started. Despite being one of the fastest growing economies, India is home to 1/4 of the world's poor. A statement that is as shocking as it is true. The elephant in the room, the unspoken truth we're about to delve into, is the stark contrast between the haves and the have-nots. India, a nation celebrated for its rich culture, diversity, and technological advances, also has a side that's often overlooked. On one hand, we see skyscrapers touch the heavens, and on the other, slums that house millions in abject poverty. The income disparity is not just noticeable, it's glaring, and it's growing. We see a country that is a prominent player in the global economy with a GDP that ranks among the top 5. Yet it's also a country where millions struggle to secure 2 square meals a day. The story of India's economic growth is a tale of 2 worlds, and for those in the lower strata, the narrative is far from a success story. These are people who toil day and night, yet their earnings barely cover their basic needs. They live in conditions that are less than humane, where access to clean water, hygienic sanitation, quality education, and healthcare is a luxury. It's a life of constant struggle, of dreams unfulfilled, of potential untapped. The bitter truth is, while the country's economy is growing, this growth doesn't seem to trickle down to the ones who need it the most. The wealth is concentrated in the hands of a select few, while the majority is left to grapple with the harsh realities of poverty. This is a side of India that's seldom highlighted, a truth that's often brushed under the carpet. And while there are efforts being made to uplift those in poverty, the path is long and the journey is arduous. Thus, the glittering facade of economic progress masks the grim reality of poverty that millions face every day. It's a reality that we must confront, a truth that needs to be spoken, a story that needs to be told. Because only by acknowledging this can we hope to bring about change, to create a future where prosperity is not a privilege for a few, but a right for all. Before we continue, can I beg a little favor? If you're liking what you're hearing, show us some love by pressing that like button. And hey, if you want to be in the loop for our fantastic upcoming videos, make sure to press subscribe and ring that bell so you're always in the know. Oh, and one more thing. drop a quick "I subscribe" down in the comments, and I'll make sure to offer you a warm welcome to our amazing family. All right, enough of that. Let's keep the conversation flowing. In the land where children are considered God's gift, many are forced into labor, robbing them of their childhood. Delve with me into a darker facet of India where the vibrancy of colors is dimmed by the shadows of child labor. A haunting paradox exists in this diverse nation where the innocence of childhood is often stolen and replaced with the heavy burden of work. Child labor, a term that sends shivers down the spine, is a grim reality in various parts of India. It's an issue that's deeply rooted in the soil of poverty and the lack of education. In a country where millions live below the poverty line, many parents see no alternative but to send their children to work, trading classrooms for brick kilns, textile units, and roadside stalls. The streets of India tell tales of children as young as 5, hunched over looms, their small hands weaving intricate patterns into carpets, their eyes losing the sparkle of childhood too soon. It's a heartbreaking sight, an image that contradicts the dreams and aspirations that every child should have the right to harbor. The agricultural sector, notorious for its harsh conditions, is another industry where child labor is rampant. These children, instead of learning the alphabet, are taught the harsh lessons of life too early as they toil under the unforgiving sun, their tender hands stained with the dust and grime of the fields. The garment industry, known for its glitz and glamour, hides a darker side too. Behind the beautiful saris and intricate embroideries are the delicate hands of children, their dreams and innocence woven into the threads. It's easy to point fingers, to lay blame, but the solution to this deep-seated issue is far from simple. It requires concerted efforts from the government, NGOs, and every individual to ensure that every child is given the opportunity to learn, to play, to just be a child. In the race towards a brighter future, it seems we have left the most vulnerable behind. It's time to turn back, to extend our hands and ensure that no child in India is robbed of their innocence, their childhood. India's ancient caste system, a social hierarchy that has been abolished by law, continues to influence society in damaging ways. This centuries-old system, ingrained in society, has left indelible marks on the fabric of modern India. It's like a ghost from the past that refuses to fade away, casting long shadows on the present. Despite India's rapid urbanization and technological advancements, the caste system's deep-rooted bias remains a grim reality for many. It's a paradox of a nation racing towards a future of possibilities while still tethered to a past of prejudices. The caste system, originally designed to organize society, has become a tool for discrimination and exclusion. Discrimination based on one's caste is a common occurrence in many parts of India. The lower castes, even now, face violence and social ostracization. This isn't limited to rural areas alone. Even in urban spaces, instances of caste-based violence and discrimination aren't unheard of. It's a stark reminder that the tendrils of the caste system reach far and wide, even in the so-called progressive spaces. The caste system also affects access to resources and opportunities. It's an invisible barrier that restricts social mobility. Despite affirmative action policies, the higher castes still dominate positions of power and influence, while the lower castes struggle for representation. It's as if the caste you're born into determines the path of your life, limiting your opportunities and defining your potential. The caste system's impact on India is a complex issue. It's not just about discrimination, violence, and restricted opportunities. It's about the psyche of a nation, about how deeply these biases are ingrained in the minds of the people. It's about the struggle to break free from the shackles of the past and move towards a future of equality and justice. The shadows of the past continue to darken the present, as the caste system remains a grim reality for many. It's a reminder that while India has come a long way, there is still a journey to be made, a journey towards a more inclusive and equitable society. India, a land of contrasts where beauty and ugliness coexist, holds the potential for change. From the unseen corners to the unspoken truths, from stolen innocence to deep-rooted bias, we've journeyed through the shadows. Yet it's crucial to remember that while we explore the darkness, there is always light waiting to break through. India is not just a story of despair, but also of hope, resilience, and transformation. Yes, there are challenges, but there are also countless individuals and organizations tirelessly working to combat these issues, to rewrite the narrative, to bring about change. Let's consider the issue of education. Many rural areas in India still lack access to quality education, but the efforts being made to bridge this gap are truly commendable. From setting up mobile schools in remote villages to harnessing the power of technology for online learning, the fight for education is a powerful one. It's a fight that's not just about imparting knowledge, but about empowering individuals, about giving them the tools to challenge the status quo and create their own path. And then there's the fight for equality. Despite the deep-rooted bias, there's a growing awareness and a stirring of consciousness. A wave of change is beginning to ripple through the country, challenging age-old customs and traditions, breaking down barriers and promoting inclusivity. Many are standing up, refusing to be silenced, demanding their rightful place in society. The power of awareness cannot be overstated. By shedding light on these issues, by starting conversations, by challenging norms, we can spark change. And this change is not just for India, but for the world. For in the words of Mahatma Gandhi, you must be the change you wish to see in the world. And so, as we peel back the layers of India's dark side, we must also remember to celebrate its light. For within the heart of India, within its people, lies an indomitable spirit, a resilience that refuses to be quelled, a beacon of hope in the face of adversity. It's this spirit that will guide India towards a brighter, more inclusive future. As we peel back the layers of India's dark side, we also uncover the resilience and spirit of its people, a beacon of hope in the face of adversity.